You know, it's a very different game. Maybe I'm just not good enough at it to appreciate it the way a lot of people do.
I've tried one tournament, a lot less bruises, a lot more trampoline burn.
A lot less bruises.
Less bruises, more trampoline burn. That's right. I'm not landing on a hard floor, but I am giving myself some pretty bad rug burn when I'm trying to slide around the court.
I mean, there's that. When I was playing in Sky Zone, they were using those 7-inch rubber balls. And so if you face somebody who's got a good whip in their throw, those can leave a bit of a mark.
Tell me, Terry, a little bit about Jocelyn Luck.
Well, she is playing in nationals for, I think, her first time. She's a catch-first kind of player. She's got pretty good grips.
Ask the questions later.
Yep, exactly. Right. She also, I can say, when she's the last player left, she often likes to throw away the ball that she's got. She's willing to be aggressive because she's also confident in those catches. So trying to put her skills together into a complete package. Yeah, I used to run into her back in a recreational league. And she's shown a lot of development. I think her first tournament was actually with me and some other folks in Hamilton, playing the cloth dodgeball style.
Cloth dodgeball.
And she's come a long way since then. She's been working hard on her game. She hits the gym fairly often. She's developed into a quick player off the rush, too, getting that ball back to Dwyer.
It's a very competitive opening rush, and I would encourage the stream viewers to watch these opening rushes very carefully. There's a lot of creative things, both on Wildlings and Kickass, that they've been doing recently. One that I saw earlier in the tournament from Wildlings, in fact, was passing it to someone past the person who looks like they're going to receive it. That's Jocelyn Luck would run up, look like she was going to receive it, and then they'd pass it further on to Claire Curry, who would take the shot.
Yeah.
Again, dodgeball. A deceptive game, not just in the pump fakes, but in every aspect of the game.
Yeah, and some players bring in skills from other sports. I mean, we see the O'Quinns with those windmill throws. They learned those from softball. Jocelyn Luke has also played a lot of tennis. She's been a pretty strong tennis player in the past, so a lot of good footwork and lateral motion from her. I'd be curious if the tennis stroke is similar at all to a throwing motion. I actually have no idea.
That's a very good question. I do know that head coach Victor Gravilli really enjoys tennis.
I don't know if he's good at it.
I don't know if he's good at it, but I think he appreciates it.
He does.
For what it can inform dodgeball players about lateral motion.
Yeah, he loves the footwork out of it.
And that's why so often you'll see court shoes on the court at dodgeball.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you look at the footwear that a lot of people are wearing, sometimes you'll see classic cross trainers or runners. Sometimes you will see court shoes. Some players
prefer the basketball shoes.
Yeah, basketball shoes.
Some go in on the wrestling shoes.
Yeah, I'm a wrestling shoes fan.
Yeah, Angelica Dale, Halen Sky, two big wrestling shoe proponents.
Yeah, out of Nova Scotia and PEI, respectively. Croft hit out there on a couple of good throws. We did see Kickass getting the better of some back-and-forth exchanges a little bit earlier in this opening point.
It is down 4 Kickass and 3 on Wildlings at this point.
And these players know each other pretty well.
That's right.
Strengths and weaknesses. So it's probably just going to be mostly about executing, not so much about surprising each other.
That very fundamental level of skill. Who's going to make those hits more often? Who's going to make those catches more often?
See Jack O'Quinn going low in the left corner. Sister Jess O'Quinn in the right corner.
Some fantastic underhands already this match, just right along the ground there. And there's another one from the number 10 O'Quinn. That is Jessica O'Quinn.
Yep. And Burton ready for it, ready to block. Burton knows what to expect. Still tough to defend sometimes, though.
Burton, a fantastic threat in that corner position.
Yeah, just a lot of leverage. And
another one, very accurate underhand windmill throw from Jessica O'Quinn there.
And you can see how well the O'Quinns can get those balls all the way across the court. Like, they don't even have to change the way their hips are, which is often a tell from a lot of overhand throwers.
Significant velocity on it, and right at that level where it's really difficult to make a catch.
Yeah.
Even if the player is kneeling on the ground, it's more likely to hit their knees than it is going to hit their lap.
Yeah, and they're pretty good at keeping them low. I know when I try the windmill, it's pretty easy for me to flick it a little bit late and have it rise up and miss the target entirely.
I know when I try the windmill, I dislocate my arm.
Yeah, I think those windmills not quite as fast as the overhands for the O'Quinns, but just those releases so good. So hard to read for most of us who aren't used to it.
This first set here in the match has come down to pretty much a war of attrition.
Yep.
Back and forth.
3 on 2, sorry. No, 4 on 2, sorry.
4 on 2. Jason Mergler getting in the way as a shagger.
He's such a
blocking
problem.
our view of the court.
Such a problem.
I think at some point the dodgeball community is going to have to talk about our Jason Mergler problem, but that's a conversation for another day.
Meanwhile, Kickass coming up.
Oh, what a fantastic catch on Luck there.
She snags that away from Rowe, and we see hits onto both O'Quinns as well.
And Jessica O'Quinn, a little frustrated, thinks that she might have been screened a little bit there when she was getting those other players walking past her.
I think she's right. Girouard, a formidable catcher.
Oh, Girouard almost reaching for that ball. Pulls back just in time. Burton getting lower into that one. Luck can't quite make that catch. And it looks like Burton's the only one left on the court.
Yeah, Girouard making things happen with her throw as well.
Catch bringing Lisa Mora back in, so it's 2-on-1.
Throw and a catch from Girouard. Burton alone, gonna have to stay alive. Tagged by Mora.
Tries for the lateral dodge, just doesn't quite far enough over.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's not often you see Savannah Burton as the last one in. She's very often targeted as the first player.
Be considered one of those folks that you pick on because their arms are too strong to leave on the court.
Yeah.
Looks like Clara Curry has made a costume change back in the yellow tights.
Maybe those were working better for her yesterday. I'm not sure.
It was gray most of the day. I think the idea is, the other team can't see as well.
It's true. If they were shiny the way the Dennis Quesnel's sport jacket was,
that's
total
right.
distraction package.
Dennis letting everyone know he's the coach.
Ooh, nice shot onto Girouard off the rush. Often you go for the close player, but that one finding a player near the back line.
Catching them a little bit by surprise.
Burton and Ewan often showing good pressure in this tournament from the back corner.
Burton letting everyone know I am a threat at all times.
And now the Wildlings are going to get ball number 3 on their side. We see Luke making the play, going toward, that was Mora in the corner. Kickass down to 4. Byam taking over the left corner. 6 strong for Wildlings. Curry goes across toward Mora. 2 of the young guns in the ladies dodgeball scene. Both of them are ladies who can launch.
Curry actually coming up through the collegiate program here in Ontario, one of the only provinces that has a college dodgeball program. It's about 5 universities that take part in it.
Yep.
Dennis Quinnell was her coach and brought her into the 7-inch world.
Yeah, that is correct. And meanwhile, we've got on Kickass, Veronica Baird. She came from a softball background as well. I am told she was on a NCAA Division I scholarship.
Oh my!
In South Carolina. That tells you she is an athlete through and through.
And also dedicated to the dodgeball.
She's made a great transition to this game. I'm pretty sure she still plays softball.
She gave it all up, Perry. Gave it all up for the glory of dodgeball.
I mean, I feel like dodgeball is her focus now. She is on Team Canada for both cloth and foam. Versatile athlete.
And I'll tell you what, if you're throwing cloth balls every once in a while, it does make your arm a little bit stronger when you come back to this foam.
Yeah, those cloth balls a bit heavier, a bit weirder to grip.
Make your wrist work a little bit harder in this.
Yeah, Byam tagged out there in the far corner. Wildlings, they're going to want to tie this one up. They come in as the lower seed, but there's a lot of healthy rivalry between these teams.
Absolutely. They're all good friends with each other, and they all compete against each other on a fairly regular basis.
Yeah, and
Burton taking that shot.
Yeah, all the way from the back corner.
Baird blocking it low.
Yeah, everybody in this match playing out of the GTA except for Girouard from Ottawa and Baird from Hamilton.
Now tell me, how does it work for practices? Do they get together on a regular basis, or do they sort of come together before the tournaments?
I mean, I know the Wildlings practice because they're all in the same general geographic area. I think for Kickass, they do have the Toronto folks practice together a decent amount, but it's a little bit harder to get the Ottawa player down. Celine does definitely visit Toronto pretty often, as we see. I think that's a double. Dwyer and Lindsay James knocked out. We got some other collegiate players. Lisa Mora coming out of Humber College, as did Shauna Rowe a couple of years earlier.
Those are collegiate ball players.
They were dodgeball players, yeah.
When you say ball, it might not necessarily mean baseball at this point.
I mean dodgeball, yeah. Jen Ritchie alone, she's no stranger to this kind of situation.
Jen Ritchie got a great block there. Perfect positioning.
That ball
pushes that one into the ground.
She knows. She wants to look for Burton. Ritchie using all the space available to her, coming right up to that line, confident. And, oh, it looks like she got Burton.
That's right. Just clipped Burton very, very closely there. Tell you what, if I were a referee, I would have had trouble calling that one. Ritchie trying for the catch, just misses it. Ball rolls out. It's tied up. Wildlings have brought it back to 1-1.
Yeah, that's good, close play.
Absolutely.
I know I'm also informed that Wildlings practices by scrimming with the Northern Touch team on the men's side.
All right. And presumably beating them soundly every time they try.
I would assume so.
Yes.
So with a 1-1 score.
As they line up, keep a very close eye on these opening rushes. Fantastic, very competitive. Kelly Croft taking a shot on Claire Curry there from the outside. Getting screened a little bit, almost purposefully by her own player.
Yeah, but we're seeing purposely. But we are seeing some of that mix-up off the rush. We see James it out as well. Both teams willing to deviate a bit from the standard package of just like lateral it almost straight back to a thrower who releases quick from the middle.
So what happened there, Croft came out behind Jessica O'Quinn, meaning that Claire Curry could not anticipate the throw because all she could see was O'Quinn. So when Kenley Croft throws, the first thing that Claire Curry sees is a ball coming at her. There's no time to anticipate with that throw, which is oftentimes how a player will say, this is how I'm going to predict my dodge.
Byam gets tagged by 2 there. She's got a great throw. So, you know, she's probably, I mean, there are a lot of big targets on this Kickass team, but I think Byam may be the scariest throw.
Someone to watch out for, absolutely. Byam versus Burton.
Yeah.
The showdown of the corners, Terry.
Absolute cannons. And Croft, I think, tagged out, on the far side. She exits stage left.
Trying to get a trade with Wong there, not quite making it.
Oh, beautiful throw
Risk.
from O'Quinn. Abu Risk. She knows that was a good play. She's like, hey, get her. Sadly, Abu Risk won't be able to do that until maybe the next point.
A lot of mutual respect amongst these teams, though. Both appreciate. Oh, Savannah Burton with a fantastic catch.
Row hit out as well, but you saw Jess O'Quinn, speaking of mutual respect, just giving the applause of appreciation for Burton, who just took that windmill shot that was rising up, just trapped it against the chest.
And then turned it around, threw it right at Rowe, who was hit out by it.
Oh, and we see Wong trying to lunge out for her own rebound. Ritchie with a great shot, but tagged twice. And Wildlings with the 2-1 lead. 11 minutes have been played. We got 9:08 remaining in the first half here.
This one's going to come down to the wire, Terry.
I
can
would guess
feel
so.
it. In a 40-minute match, which is, by the way, folks, what we are at right now, because it's playoffs, each match is 40 minutes, 20 minutes on each side.
Yep.
In a 40-minute match, it does often come down to your strength and conditioning. How much cardiovascular power do you have to continue going beyond that 20 minutes that you might be used to?
And let's not forget, not only is this particular match double the length of the round-robin games, but this is also a good 2 days into a tournament against tough competition.
Mm-hmm. Arms are tired. I got to tell you, the first match on the second day of the tournament is always a little bit rusty off the start there.
Yeah, and
Curry trying to make that catch. It bounces up and just a bit too far for her to chase after it there.
Yeah, maybe those yellow pants were distracting her, too.
Maybe she looked down and was blinded.
And I think James hit out in the corner as well.
Dwyer, the good block there.
Dwyer coming up, calling the shot. She is the captain. A couple of high shots going in on Rowe, and I think that was Jack O'Quinn, but neither of them getting tagged. Mergler in the back. He's making sure that that ball is all the way out. You actually have to. Ooh, Dwyer
what
with
a fantastic catch by Dwyer.
Yeah, on Rowe, and
Abu Risk comes in, taking O'Quinn and Rowe out, it looks like.
And Croft as well in the ricochet off of O'Quinn, sorry. So that is a big swing for Wildlings. Girouard hit out as well, looking for the catch on Ewan.
Leaving Lisa Mora on the right-hand side and Jessica O'Quinn on the left.
That shot popping up off of Janice Ewan.
And out of catching distance.
That is... Okay. I think Jess might be saying she was on the line, in which case, if that's the case,
It is the referee's discretion now. This is an update to the 2019 rules. If a player leaves in good faith, steps off the court because they believe that they were out, it is the referee's discretion whether or not they are allowed to come back in. It used to be that once a player stepped over the boundary line, you were out no matter what, which led to a lot of times where a player would stand in because they weren't sure what was called, and people felt that that might be a bit misleading to the team that was still playing on the other side. It's a good addition to the rules, and it looks like it was employed here.
Yep. Now you went out for real. Wong very aggressively coming up to drive back Lisa Mora.
Putting the scare in her.
Yep.
Mora now with 3 balls, which means it is advantage on Wildlings, who are faking hard at the line. Take 2 shots. Mora gets under both of them.
Yeah, she's a very good player at just kind of being flexible behind those 2 blocking balls. Lisa Mora active on Instagram, just showing how much she works out. She's in the gym, I don't know how much, I'm going to assume roughly 60 hours a week. And great shot, just finding the foot on Abu Risk.
Clipping her there just a little bit.
Yeah, there's some great shots finding Katrina Abu Risk. She's getting tagged in spots that are tough to defend. We see Mora going cross-court onto Curry. Dwyer threatening. Curry just kind of casually coming up.
Dwyer's fakes, including her entire body, she actually whips her foot around like she would on the follow-through of an actual throw. Makes it as convincing as possible.
Yeah, I believe.
I've been ducking every time, Terry, and I'm 40 feet away.
I mean, she hasn't missed that egregiously that we're in danger, but I respect the thought. Ooh, Mora just missing there. Wong coming up. Not actually going to take that one. I think Wildlings would rather set up, but Mora not going to give them all the space they want. Curry avoiding it, retaliating. Mora goes low. And we see on the back and forth, Mora now no ball in hand.
Counter attempt there. Mora's inviting the catch.
And there we see the pancake dodge, showing off that flexibility.
Not just flexibility, but fantastic reaction time. Anticipated when those throws were going to come very well.
And you see Mora has no easy out. She's been 1 on 4, now 1 on 3 for a while. Hasn't been able to connect with those throws, but showing no sign of slowing down so far. Just missing the feet on Curry, back and
Dwyer
forth.
takes the shot from halfway up the court.
And so Wildlings had to fight for that one, but they go up 3-1 in the score.
Absolutely. Lisa Mora doing everything she possibly could to try and win that point back for her team. Looks like one of the teams has called a timeout. I believe it is Kickass.
Yeah, I mean, they are down, and as the number 1 seed, that's not a position they expect to find themselves too often.
Might need to stabilize themselves mentally a little bit before going into the next set here.
Yeah, so obviously these 2 teams are going to be competing for the title of national champions. They're also going to be, as individual players, looking to earn spots on Team Canada. We can see pretty much all of the scouting staff, I think, are perched up in the bleachers, kind of above the middle of courts 1 and 2.
Let's just give folks a little update on court 2 action right now. 3 for Avonlea Armada versus 2 for Scotia Sirens. That's right. It's the battle that the East Coast was waiting for.
Yeah, you can catch that on the second stream, twitch.tv/dodgeballpei.
And we are setting back up here. Kickass ready to bring it back and try and make that tie before we get to the second half.
Not quite ready. Jen Ritchie saying, hey, we need 1 more. Actually, if you start with only 5 on, that's on you. The refs aren't going to say you're short. You're just going to have to start short.
Although it looks like there might be some conversation about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 players on the side of Kickass. Did someone come in after the whistle blew?
That might be the question because, yeah, if that player wasn't on with their back foot on the back line,
then they're in big trouble.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that. Referees gossiping in the middle of the court here, trying to figure out what's going on.
They're just trying to stay a little bit warmed up there.
Bouncing that ball.
Coming over to talk to the captains. Just a reminder, only the captains and coaches talk to the refs in most situations.
Now, Baird was on a team called Looney Tunes last year, Terry.
Yep.
Isn't that right? How did she make the jump up to Kickass?
I think Baird was a standout player on Looney Tunes and earned herself a spot on the national team And since Kickass is like, hey, we're basically the national team, right? They picked her up.
And I understand that Looney Tunes has indeed dissolved at this point. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It has become a few different teams at this point.
Yeah, we've seen several of their players still represented at this tournament. Sydney Somerville playing on Trillium, having earned an individual invite. Katie Morrison, I believe, was on Valkyrie during the qualifiers, but not able to make it to this tournament. And yeah, a lot of the players, even if the individual teams might no longer work for various reasons. Ooh, you see Ewan disarmed there on the shot from O'Quinn. A lot of times the players still stick around in the scene, maybe just trying to find a better fit for various team reasons at times. There we see the, I don't see Barrett throw the underhand too often, but she's fully capable of doing it.
Absolutely, and it is a surprise to the other players when she whips it out.
Abu Risk, ooh, could not quite find the counter shot.
Trying to make that catch, but bounced a little too far off the chest to be in catching zone.
Yeah, you can see, I think she got one of her hands on it. Abu Risk often very good at swallowing those up. Burton, ooh, that's a big shot. Finding
Baird trying and doing a pretty good job of dodging from a knee-based position. Unfortunately, just not quite out of the way enough.
I can say from experience, Burton's shots are tough to avoid. She tags Crawford there. Byam traded out as well.
That's right. Dwyer taking a shot across the court, getting her right in the legs there.
And we are down to 3-on-3 with 3.5 to go in the first half. Burton threatening to throw again. That shot going from Richie toward Dwyer, who shows that big fake you were talking about earlier.
That's right. You know when the foot pops that it's true love.
I like that she's wearing knee pads that match the outfit too.
And the balls.
Yeah, I appreciate the full-on color coordination.
We are broadcasting in Technicolor here at the Dodgeball National Championships, folks, so that you can appreciate the color of these players' knee pads.
720p color.
Hashtag 720.
We see an interesting quirk to the rules there. The ball retriever behind Wildlings accidentally stepping on the court as his momentum carried him forward. And because that ball hadn't been put in play yet, that means he's got to forfeit it over to the other team.
That's right. If you are within the boundaries of the court and still an active player, you can reach over and grab anything from outside the court that you can touch without going over a line. However, if a shagger goes inside the line even just a little bit or touches a ball that has not just physically been touching the line, but until the actual circumference of the ball, so the, I suppose, cliff edge you might call it, that hangs over top of that line because the ball is round, until that is over top of just no line at all, you cannot shag it.
Yeah, that is correct. And meanwhile, while we're discussing the intricacies of the rule, Kickass closing out the point.
Bringing it up to 2 for Kickass, 3 for Wildlings with 2:17 left in the half.
Yeah, and what I like about the composure of Kickass there is it was 3-3, and then it was 3-0 in terms of the player count. They were just accurate with their throws again, making sure they connected with the shots they were trying to take, and just systematically.
Going back, as we often do, to the fundamentals.
Accuracy is so important.
Claire Curry getting offered 2 balls there. Sends one out to the end.
Yeah, we see a shot toward James. She goes high, so did the shot, but she avoids it.
Excellent blocking.
Yeah, now let's see what happens. Wildlings with the 4 balls.
Curry taking that shot on by him, just missing off to the side.
And Curry just confirming that one did bounce before it got to my target.
Again, very friendly competition here.
Burton going low. Very well under that shot from, I think that was Byam who let it go. Curry trying to find her, missing.
Looked like she was trying to put a little bit of a drop on that. It did start coming down at the end there, but Byam got low enough that it just didn't quite make a touch.
It's always hard to make those curveballs break at exactly the space you want them to.
You're dealing with a lot of different things when you try and make a curveball go where you want it to. A lot of different factors.
A lot harder to do well than just a straight fastball. Dwyer. Nope, not Dwyer the target. That was Curry there.
Curry steps her out there. Now 4 balls on Wildlings' side.
Just under
advancing.
a minute.
You can watch Dwyer thinking about that catch, waiting to see if they can get the shadow catch off of whatever the response from Kickass is.
Yep. See them positioning just in case. And James with a good block.
Right into the ground and rolling back onto the same side of the court. Not punching it forward, not giving it back to Kickass on that block.
Yeah. And we see a couple of throws coming in, and a third one. Ewan looking for the shot, and it looks to me like Wildlings only 1 ball in hand still. on their right corner. Janice
Quinn telling Kickass to cool it a little bit, take it slow, and come out to the line as a team.
Jess O'Quinn over there is like, you in? Nah, you out. And shooting again, tagging Burton, who was not prepared.
Just a little distracted by, I think, what was possibly a ball coming Burton's way.
Dwyer just missed. Croft gets tagged by him. Finds it going over her shoulder from Dwyer.
Croft gracefully rolls out of the court.
Yeah.
And it looks like that is half. It's going to go to sudden death to try and finish off this set here, which means no blocking. Players will start on the back line. The same folks that were in when the buzzer went are the ones that remain in. They each get 3 balls. No blocking means that if you block with the ball and it touches, you are out. It's just the same as your body. But catches still do count, even if they bounce up off of a ball.
And all we've seen so far are misses. But O'Quinn finds James there. And you also saw O'Quinn drop right to the ground after she threw.
That's right, because she knew that James was going to do that counter shot. They were throwing at each other right at the same time.
Dwyer and Luke, both very good catchers. I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to be looking for. Unfortunately, Luke will be looking at the sideline for a moment. Dwyer, no ball. Like I said, I'm pretty sure she's either going to go for the counter. Actually, she's going to go on offense first. Sends it
now
toward
that she is down to 3 balls. Oh, that's right, 3 balls. The onus to throw will be on Kickass. Dwyer taking an early counter, trying to get that ball in because she knows that she can catch. Doesn't necessarily need to have that ball in her hand.
But these are all tough throwers to catch. So
absolutely.
Dwyer gets caught herself, though. O'Quinn ready.
Speaking of catching, Terry.
Yeah, O'Quinn really good at that style of catching where she just goes low to the ground in a hurry, down on her knees, and with her torso still up square to the ball.
A little bit of an update while they change sides here. It is now 4 for Avonlea Armada versus 3 for Scotia Sirens on court 2. Again, you can tune into that. Twitch.tv/dodgeballpei.
Yeah, we got a couple of streams going, showing you all of the playoff action that is happening right at the moment.
2 fantastic matches that were immediately preceded by 4 fantastic matches on the men's side of the competition, which will pick up again after we have streamed these 2 matches. Yeah, it is one of the most open, one of the most competitive national championships that I have had the pleasure of seeing, Terry. Overall this weekend, some fantastic turnouts. Provinces really pushing their game to the next level.
Yeah, we saw Z Warriors as the highest seed in the first round of the men's, getting pushed to the limit by the 12 seed Harpang out of Quebec.
That's right.
We also saw a pretty tight match between Hard as Foam, seed number 10, against seed number 7, the Red River Rebellion, coming out of Manitoba.
And a little earlier on, we watched Edmonton Arsenal against the Golden Boys out of Manitoba as well. Very, very tough match for both teams, but Golden Boys did win it out there. It is single elimination in these playoffs. Once a team loses, they will not be continuing this weekend.
Yeah, so high stakes. As you can hear from the cheers, high appreciation and entertainment value from the audience as well.
Avonlea bringing it up 5-3 over Scotia Sirens. That was the reason it got so loud because, again, we're in Prince Edward Island.
Yeah. There are also a bunch of Nova Scotia fans here, though. Obviously, they didn't have too far to come.
Nope, they had to go over a bridge. It was a little windy, I heard, but they all made it safe.
And from a little farther away are the Ontarians. You see a whole bunch of them here on court number 1. Starting off the second half. Nobody out after the opening rush.
Looks like Curry making that play call from the center there. It looks like that was a bounce off the ground there, and Curry agrees.
Yeah. Nice shot from her, though. She's showing the sidearm. Shows the overhand sometimes as well.
A little bit of a diversity in the throws is always a good thing. Dropping low over those 2 throws as well.
You also see her checking to make sure she's in bounds. Looks good to me.
A sportsman-like thing to be doing.
For sure. It's, I
looks
trust
like
she would call herself
Curry and Burton
out.
have both been making play calls. So what happened looks like right there is that Curry and James made some decisions, and then Burton and Luck made some decisions, and then brought it up on both sides of the court so that there were 2 offensive things going on at once.
And now we see Kickass ready. See, they don't worry about applying the pressure until the other team starts to come up. Curry, though, gets tagged out. Mora showing fake. She also commits her whole body to those counters a lot of the time.
I like what you say about not committing to the pressure until the other team starts to come up, Terry, because in a 40-minute match, you got to conserve every little bit of energy that you can. And if you're faking hard when the other team is at the far back and they know you're probably not going to throw, that's just going to tire you out for when you actually do want to fake as they advance.
I mean, if you are going to once in a while throw into the huddle, then you want to represent that pressure more often. But
absolutely, that's a good point. And if you are going to throw into that huddle, it's important to make sure that they know that that's a possibility, that they're always going to feel threatened by it.
It's also important to hit if you do it. I have been that guy who aims, misses, feels bad.
Haven't we all, Terry?
Ugh. But, now we're seeing Kickass up to the line. Shiklad and Rowe in the back to support, but Wong gets knocked
like
out.
Wong tagged out there, just a little clip on the fingers of the knee from what I could see up here.
Yeah.
Wildlings is advancing with 4 balls, though. James takes the shot, not quite connecting.
And they're going to try and advance over the number 1 seed, who went perfect record-wise all the way through the round robin. So
Wildlings is making them fight for this next match, though.
Yeah, Kickass, though, obviously, I would say has to be the favorite for the championship here. But, you know, it's close. It's 3-3.
We'll see what happens. Again, in both divisions, men's and women's, much closer tournament this year.
And we saw James not able to block that one cleanly.
But Mora is getting hit off on the counter there.
But Wildlings down to just 2.
And if you're going for that trade and you're down players, it's probably not worth it. You need to play a little bit more conservatively, keep yourself more safe.
And you see Croft over there still with a lot of energy. Goes fake with the windmill and then low into the block. See a nice attempt from Jack O'Quinn.
And great blocking formation from Abu Risk.
Jack O'Quinn, who has represented Canada in softball at the national level 2 years in a row. And her sister Jess, also a formidable softball player. I think has focused a little more on dodgeball lately, though. Mike colliding with random nearby objects.
That's right. Oh, so close to a catch there from Look, but just not quite making it.
She was holding 2 balls and still almost managed to trap that 3rd ball, but now she strands Abu Risk alone. We see Shauna Rowe coming up to defend the team. Shauna Rowe, who in Australia won the Best and Fairest Player Award.
Kelly Croft keeping that ball on her side. Kickass will be advancing now with 3 balls. The onus is on them to throw. Abu Risk taking that early counter, trying to get them as they advance.
You can see a smile on Shauna Rowe's face, though. Obviously, they know each other pretty well. And I think that's a grab from Abu Risk.
But they're arguing that she was hit before she made the catch. There's a ball that went over top of her.
It seems like O'Quinn's sure about Shuhua saying, like, hey, let it go.
O'Quinn very much disagreeing.
And I mean, the referees were there too, so.
And we have 6 of them, and there was one standing directly above Abu Risk, so the rest of her team saying, let's just play on.
Yep. And Curry caught back in. And regardless of what happened there, I just want to say Abu Risk making a great play, managing to squeeze that ball between her elbows while she's holding a ball in each hand otherwise.
Fantastic technical skill. And trying for a second time to do it, unfortunately not quite making it.
Yeah, Croft making sure that that was not going to be an easy play.
With that vicious underhand. Curry going high.
And personally, what I find hard about playing against a team like Kickass is you've got underhands that come in, you got overhands that come in. It's actually really hard to read them coming in from a bunch of angles.
Wow, that was a great duck and throw by Curry there.
Yeah, knocking out Jack O'Quinn. But still too strong. Shigawa daring the throw. You see her smiling too. Curry's like, nah, I'm going to go Croft here. Croft, though, hopping out of the way.
Croft court.
Yeah, I get it.
Just want to congratulate Curry once again. It is hard to trust your instincts. When a player is throwing underhand at you to duck down, it can be a risky endeavor.
Yeah. Curry, I believe it was last year, she won the Ms. Dodgeball Award in Barrie at the National Dodgeball Festival, which I'm not exactly sure what the criteria is, but I think it's one of those things, best, fairest, nicest all-around player.
That doesn't mean she had to stand on stage with Jeff Nuyens, does it?
I think it was Mergler that year.
Jason Mergler.
Nuyens the year before.
How does he keep coming up?
Yeah, we try not to, but I mean, he's right there in a bright orange penny.
Yeah, saying, hey world, here I am. Pay attention to me.
Curry, meanwhile, commanding the attention of Kickass.
Curry
Croft
doing a great
retaliating.
job. Croft bringing in that pressure. Curry trying for that block, just a little bit out of position up court because she dropped in because of Croft's earlier throw there. Couldn't quite get back far enough to avoid that.
And we've seen Croft multiple times. She is totally willing. If she's holding 2 balls, she's going to throw the first one on the run and then step into that second throw.
Very bold, very brave move to make.
I'd say downright fearless, in fact. She kicks ass on the way to a 4-3 lead for her team.
And then a pun about Wildlings. Dwyer taking that pass back, not opting to throw.
And so now it's going to be Kickass. It's their turn to throw since the other team won the last one. And we see O'Quinn taking that shot.
Ewan getting right out of the way, dropping low.
Curry over on the sideline. Didn't see how she got out, but she's showing some love.
I am curious about that too.
Dennis Quesnell, her coach, up in the stands, giving her positivity. Abu Risk hit out though.
Wearing the jersey in solidarity.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It is a number 12 Curry jersey as well.
There's another Wildlings jersey up there in support.
Those balls just brushing the floor right next to Jen Ritchie.
Yeah.
Ritchie calmly observes that they go right past her.
It's like she's like, that's not going to hit me. Calculated. And James just scooching out of the way. With just under 13 minutes remaining, Mora stays under that ball.
From our position here, can tell that Dwyer's shot had a little bit of a curve on the out throw to it. She was throwing, and it curved to the right, which is a great little curve there. Unfortunately, curving the wrong direction to hit Lisa Mora in the corner just by an inch or so, but a great throw.
They try again. This time it's Wong taking it. Mora threatening. That ball got a little bit away from O'Quinn. She kind of shrugs. That one probably slipping out a little bit.
Avon Lee Armada passing that back to them.
Think this is yours. And we see a shot toward O'Quinn.
O'Quinn taking her out there.
Yeah, and these are the moments where you want to stay mentally strong, even though a throw slipped and then you got hit out. You know, it's just one couple of moments in the game. There's so much more to play. Ritchie showing that she knows how to keep her composure as she tags out Janice Ewan.
Calls the up. Unfortunately, none of the other players could get to it in time to make that catch.
And I think Bayer tagged out by James there.
That's right. Ball went straight down the line and right past the blocker there.
It's still 4 strong for Kickass. She'll go out shadowing while Mora unloads. Just misses Wong. And now to the line. It's James throwing toward Ritchie. Nothing doing there.
Ritchie loading up as the new corner player, making the play call.
Let's see a bunch of
Lisa Mora taking the cross-court shot.
Oh, Shigoad wanted to force that catch a little bit.
Wanted that shadow. Unfortunately, leaned into it a bit too much. Only one hand got there in time.
Yeah, she's a great catcher, but didn't quite work on it for that one. Byam just missing Wong. Again, just kind of over that left shoulder, which is good. She's not putting it right on the blocking ball. She's looking a little bit outside, trying to catch the exposed parts of the body.
We're at 10 minutes left in this match.
Wong's throw there, kind of missing. I think fatigue becoming an issue for some players.
That's right. As we've previously discussed, at this point in the day, on the second day of this tournament, you've got to be in great physical condition in order to compete at this level.
Byam gets low under that ball, comes back up in a hurry. This is where we see, now that the shot clock moves over to Kickass, ooh, what a shot from Byam. She's got that cannon.
Jen Ritchie congratulating her a little bit, I think, there.
And why not?
Getting praise from Jen Ritchie always feels very good.
You know it means something. Mora showing good pressure. She's still showing a lot of energy. Now as Dwyer shifts position, I think she got tagged.
Calling herself out there.
Did she make a catch as well? Not quite. And so it's just Christabel Wong. That ball trapped down against the floor by the blocking ball of Lisa Mora. And 1 on 3, Wong is going to need to fight for this one. Kickass looking to establish a 2-point advantage for themselves. Byam, though.
Making a great block there.
Yeah. Wong with just one ball goes over to retrieve the other one, which the ball handler not allowed to touch.
Wong getting so small there. And
I think that one bounced.
Looks like it bounced off of the floor before being caught between her 2 balls and her legs. Although the referees are deciding, and they've agreed, it is not a catch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Ref's on top of things.
And just so everyone at home knows, there are 6 refs on this match. There are 2 center refs that are calling most of the plays in the match, and then there are 2 officials at the back side of each side of the court. They're there to make sure that no one steps over the line and to provide a closer second opinion if anything goes past the noticing of the first ref. Now Wong getting very, very small. A mixture of flexibility and just excellent posturing. Very difficult to hit that kind of player who can get that small.
Seems like when she's
especially
on deep,
what she's doing right now
is getting hit.
Apologies to Wong.
That said, so I'm curious if she prefers the left side, because that is where she was going, if that was maybe a matchup consideration or just where she feels like she can see things better. But yeah, like you were saying, if you're going to go pure defense, then I think what she did is exactly how you want to do it. She kind of folds up her whole torso behind the balls, holds them up a little bit high. You can still get hit kind of from the outside if somebody maybe can drop a shot over the balls.
If they can drop a shot or you can curve a ball. But another thing she does, she took her third ball, she put it right in front of her, and then she held her 2 other blocking balls up in front of that. Now, if a ball from the opposing team were to hit that ball on the ground, it would become a dead object. So she is basically given herself an entire another ball's width of protection without actually having to hold it in her hand. As far as where she's opting to go on the court, I believe it was Biam on one side and Ritchie on the other. In that situation, I myself would say, which one of these is the more scary thrower? Which one is the more dangerous person to be against? I'm going to get as far away from them as possible. If one is on one side of the court and the other is on the other side, I'm going to go on the farthest angle I can from the more dangerous thrower.
Yeah, but at the same time, Kickass showing what you do on offense. Ooh, quick release there toward Ewan.
Oh, Quinn.
It's a little frowny face from her.
Crossing her arms there. Wanting that ball back.
Oh, Ewan couldn't squeeze that one.
Good try from Ewan, but just not quite making that catch.
Croft has a powerful toss, so. Yeah, but Kickass on offense doing the right thing of spreading out when they're just against that solo player. You want to make it as hard as possible for them to read everything coming in.
That's right. You want to make them move their head as much as possible between the angles, right? It's harder to read something that's further apart from your field of vision.
And if you block one ball, it's pretty hard to block another one coming in from a different angle.
Exactly. It's harder to get those 2 balls over to block or that 1 ball over to block from that other angle as fast as you can.
I think Shauna Rowe was just hit out on the knee there. It's still 4 of her teammates remaining, each with a ball. We see it's a couple of balls invested on Abu Risk.
Going for that catch, but not having to make it because the ball's bounced off right in front of her.
Now she will relay the call into the corner. That shot going toward Croft, and coming back to Wildlings are going to get to be on offense. The second consecutive throw. O'Quinn threatening from the side and avoiding the balls that come her way.
Making that very convincing underarm fake there, underhand fake.
Yeah, I don't know how to tell that fake from her real throw. Maybe you can't.
Bear doing a great job of faking with the underarm as well.
And we saw Croft tagging out Wong.
Abu Risk called herself out, but then the other team and the referees, I think, saying, note that hit the ground first.
Now that one coming close, but I think that hit the official. Yeah, just the effortless way that O'Quinn releases that windmill kind of blows my mind. Makes me envious. That is a skill she has earned and worked on. Now Kickass going to work on earning a lead, a bigger lead, I should say. Burton, yeah, I think her forearm absorbed one of those shots.
She's kind of trying for it, but not quite making that catch on the other side of the court as well.
Yep. It's just Jocelyn Luke, number 89, by herself. Croft showing pressure from the far side. And I think, like we said, I think you're going to see Kickass spread out on offense here. I think you're going to see Luke probably take a shot with one of those balls. And
try and get that early counter in. Because when you're facing that many balls coming at you, why not try and get a shot off beforehand? Try and disrupt them before they can do what their plan was.
Yeah, there's a grab from Luke.
Fantastic catch by Luke.
Yeah, Croft got caught.
Now Dwyer back in on the other side.
Still gonna
2 versus 3 for Kickass.
Yeah, still going to be tough.
Quinn dropping underneath that, watching it go over top.
5 minutes remaining. O'Quinn with a nice block.
In women's dodgeball, I often wonder, those that wear the ponytails, do they dodge specifically to try and whip that ponytail down instead of up?
I don't know. That's not something I've ever had to worry about. Dwyer does get hit out. Luke's going to need to, well, I was going to say she's going to look for a catch, but I meant for her to make a catch, not for the other team.
When you're looking for the other team to make a catch, you're not playing the game right.
Yeah, Jess O'Quinn playing the game right, though. Making a good solid grab, just like she did earlier on Luke. And with 4:44 remaining, Kickass has a pretty commanding 6-3 lead.
I believe the timeout this time was called by Wildlings.
I think that's probably correct. Talking things over, they're going to have to push the pace. They're going to need to play it quick in order to give themselves a chance to win.
Again, 4:44 left on the clock. That's 3 4s.
Lucky number 4?
4 plus 4 plus 4, again, Terry, is 12. And 4 divided by 3. I can't do that in my head.
4 divided by 3 is an awkward number.
That's an awkward number that we're not here to talk about. Let's discuss a little bit about who this team is going to face if they make it through this next match.
I'd like to, but I'm not sure.
Okay, well, let's talk about the game that's about to start back up again instead, because that is what's forefront and pertinent in everyone's minds.
I bet the viewers are thinking, yeah, this is the insightful commentary I came to hear.
In-depth stuff from...
Admitting we don't know what's happening with the playoff bracket next. It is written down somewhere.
Once again, I'm Stacey Hewen, not Ian Cobb.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we're getting ready for this point to kick off. Off the rush.
Hewen passing back to Curry.
Yep.
Who, again, opts not to throw, decides to keep that ball advantage instead, and that is the tack that Kickass takes as well.
Yeah, it's Kickass's throw. They won the last point. We see it coming in from O'Quinn, blocked
Great
by...
blocking position by Curry.
I think Jess O'Quinn was in the back of the head there as she tried to get out of the way.
Not sure who threw it, but it was a good counter from whomever did.
I think that was Burton with the execution-style throw. And Kickass, though, still 5 players strong, still confident. And they're still going to play their game. 4 minutes remaining. Nice
Curry
grab.
with a beautiful catch.
Curry catching out Rowe.
I guess those yellow tights are working after all.
The lucky charm for catching for Curry, perhaps.
They're probably made of some sort of sticky material or something like that.
I'm sure the refs are checking that kind of
I'm
thing.
sure they are, and I don't mean that, Claire, if you're watching later. I'm sure your pants are smooth.
Back and forth. I think we see Jack O'Quinn hit out, but Mora avenging her onto Burton. James a casualty as well. So looks like we got a 4-on-3 advantage for Wildlings. Chigua daring people to throw at her. She always kind of settles down into that catching posture, sometimes with a bit of a smirk or a smile on her face too.
Kickass looking like they're taking it a little more easy. Just ready to let this game play out for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're seeing Mora and Croft are very aggressive on the throws. Chigua is aggressive in a different way, just saying like, I'm gonna catch you.
I'm aggressively defensive.
Oh, nice snap from Mora, taking out Luke just in the feet. 3-on-3 now. And let's see what happens. We see a couple of fakes in either way. Curry unloading toward Mora. Missing though, high. And we see Mora trying to return the favor onto Curry. And it looks like Croft tagging out Ewan on the far corner. Abu Risk's going to have to take over because there are only 2 players left for both of those corners. You see it go cross court onto Curry. And now with 4 balls, we're seeing Wildlings coming up to the line. They invest 1 on each corner. Both of them are safe. They go down and block it safely. We see some back and forth. Abu Risk looking for a catch, can't make it. Curry still alive in the corner. Only 1 ball remaining on the Kickass side, so Curry, I mean, she's going to have to watch for the charge counter from Croft, who has shown she is highly willing to do that
Absolutely,
kind of thing.
very bold player.
And Mora, I think that bounced before
Referee is calling it the ground.
Yep.
It was just very slightly before it bounced into her knee there.
But that's like the only place to try and hit her when she bends that way. Croft charging, blocked by Curry, but I think Mora
Looks
found
like it
her.
went under and hit her in the leg there. Curry disagreeing. Kickass already celebrating. The referee's talking. Referee's saying the ball bounced. Kickass celebrating a little bit early.
Yeah, that's why the refs have the leeway to talk things over. Minute 25 remaining. Mora gets tagged.
Mora calling herself out there with a graze.
She's a nimble player, but not quite able to move far enough out of the way of that shot. Croft is throwing the low windmill. That actually rose up enough to be, I guess, a high windmill.
I'm wondering if Curry is reading those in advance, or whether she is just so familiar with Croft's throw that she knows when it's going to be going up and when it's going to be going down.
Given how many of these people play against each other in leagues and tournaments, there's some familiarity. Oh, see the mix-up with the Girouard being the one to throw. Return shot from Curry falls a little short. Curry electing to go on the offensive. Croft blocking. Nice little sliding move. It looked awkward, but I'm sure it was all planned.
Making the block during a slide. It's an acquired skill. Got to work hard at. Curry getting down into a defensive position, blocking both those balls pretty well there.
Yeah, crouching down, staying on
Girouard
both feet.
really reaching for that catch. Pulls back just in time.
She can make those, though. I've definitely seen her just snatch a ball out of the air. It looks like it's going wide. She just gets those hands on it.
And that's why I never throw ball.
Curry.
Croft faking the underarm, going for the overhand.
Curry still alive, throwing again. Maybe she's just looking for a catch. Nope, she's going to pick up that blocker.
She probably knew that she had that second ball behind her.
Yeah.
Buzzer has sounded, and Curry was hit out just at the end there.
Yeah, so I think
Either way, though, there was a point advantage on the Kickass side that meant that that match is finished in favor of Kickass 7-3.
Yeah, strong performance from them. They are the #1 seed, so that's what you'd expect. But Wildlings, they made quite a fight out of it.
Giving them a real hard time, especially in the first half of that match. Kickass will be moving on, and coming up next, we have Prairie Fire versus Strike 1919. This is going to be a fantastic match to watch on Court 1 here. Two Winnipeg teams going head-to-head, or I should say rather Manitoba. Manitoban teams going head-to-head. In the round robin, very, very close match.
I think mostly out of Winnipeg, but just want to give you a little update. If you haven't tuned into Court 2, you should. We see a very close match between the Avonlea Armada, hometown women's team, against the Scotia Sirens. It looks like an 8-6 edge for the Armada with 4:20 remaining. Scotia Sirens coming up to the line. They blaze it toward Walker, but missing.